What's up everybody, Heather here. Today I'm going to talk to you about a brand new chapter I'm starting in my life. I got accepted to go to Liberty University and I'm going there in August and I'm really excited. Well, pretty nervous, but yeah, I think it's going to be great. So yeah, this video is just going to be about why I decided that I wanted to go back to school and why I chose Liberty University. So for those of you who haven't been following me very long, I do have some new subscribers. Thank you for that, by the way. So for those of you who are brand new to my channel, I was an online college student for a while. I started during COVID, so thank God I chose online school. It was connected to a local community college here where I'm from. I was studying early childhood education, child development. I sort of thought it would help me become a children's author because I could learn how they grow and develop and what could help them learn, what won't help them learn, different things like that. I thought maybe I could help with that. But here's the thing, that's in the teaching field and I have never had a desire to be a teacher. Sure, when I was a kid and I would play school with my stuffed animals and toys, and dolls and all that, but as an adult, no way. I love the arts, I love to sing, I love to act, I love to write. I prefer to do something involving that. And I love making these videos too, so if that could be a job, that would be awesome. But anyway, so some of the classes that I took, I just had no interest in just because it had to do with teaching kids at an elementary school level, and I had no desire to do that. I don't, I admire people who can. It's awesome that we have great teachers out there, and I salute you if you're a teacher watching this right now, but I could not do what you do. There's no way. And I remember there was this one project I had to do where I had to make 10 lesson plans, and I was so bored with that. I thought it would be fun, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this is what it takes to make a lesson plan? And when the directions said that I could Google lesson plans, I'm like, good, I'm picking the first 10 things Google tells me about. That's basically what I did just to get the project done. Because I was so bored with it. I'm like, this isn't fun at all. I feel like all I'm doing is just writing a paper. I mean, I know that's part of college. You have to write so many papers that you practically write a novel. I was just realizing that I'm just not interested in this at all. I never saw myself being a teacher. I worked at a daycare for a while, but working with other people's kids is just not for me. When I have my own kids, I think it'll be a little bit easier because I have more time to get to know them. I know how I want to raise them, and you don't get that with other people's kids. I think the only way I'll be a teacher in my future is homeschooling my kids, because I really want to do that whenever I have kids. But anyway, so I was actually pretty close to getting my degree, and then I got an email that I had enough credit hours to, I actually had enough credit hours to get a diploma, like for the hours that I spent on it. And I deleted the email because I thought it was spam. And then a couple days later, it was like the day before Mother's Day that year, I was in the middle of doing a play at a theater 30 minutes away from where I live. There was this theater doing Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I helped out with that. I played one of the brothers' wives. And my mom came home from work, checked the mail, and she actually found a letter that basically said what the email said. And I read it, and I'm like, wait, I do have enough credit hours to get a diploma right now? I thought that was spam. I'd never even heard of a college doing that. So yeah, it was the weirdest thing I'd ever heard. And I have the diploma. They mailed it to me. But yeah, after getting that diploma, I'm like, well, I have a diploma. Can I just stop? This is not for me. And my mom and I had a long talk about it, and finally it just felt better to just stop, because I was reaching burnout and I was frustrated, and our Wi-Fi at the time was just horrible. We got some better Wi-Fi now, but then it was absolutely the worst, and I needed a new laptop, which was frustrating me, and we couldn't find the time to get a new one. We didn't have. I wasn't even sure if I had the money for it. Thankfully, I did get a new one, and I really like this one. So, Liberty's right there. Okay, well, I'm getting to that. Oh, and I told the story of how I got this sticker too, because this is one of my favorite stickers on here. Plus, I like the bluey ones. I got that for Christmas. Anyway, then I decided to put my focus on getting my driver's license so that I can get a part-time job and finally start becoming a little more independent. So I got my license. I made a whole video about how I got my license about a year ago. And it's almost a year since I got my license now. And something else I got for Christmas to celebrate that. My mom found that on Amazon and I love it so much. It's so cool. Anyway, so I get my license and I get a job at Ingles. I'm still working there part-time, 4 days a week, not bad. And then I just didn't feel fulfilled. I'm just like, what should I do now? I feel like I should be doing more than what I'm doing right now. And I'm praying about it because I really believe God wants me to do something involving the arts. I believe He's called me to do that. I just don't know what or how or where to start. Honestly, I was always afraid of praying about whether I should go back to school or not because I was afraid He would say yes. It seems like that fear came true. Because one night I finally decided to work up the courage to pray because I want to do what God's will is for me. Because you can't go wrong with that. It's the best decision to make. I want to know what God's will is for me. What God wants me to do with my life. I have my dreams. I have things that I hope I do one day. But what matters the most is what does God want me to do? Because He knows what's best for me. And that's where I'm going to feel the most fulfilled, doing His will. Finally, I decide to pray, do you want me to go back to college? And I tell Him that if I do go back to college, I'd rather it be a Christian college because there are a lot of things in secular colleges that I highly disagree with, and I know you do too. I didn't word it exactly that way, but I think you know what I mean. So then I tell God, if I were to go to a Christian college, which one should I go to? And the very first college that popped in my brain was Liberty University. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe. Because I'd heard of Liberty University. I've watched some of their combo videos. When I was in high school, I found a few of them. Like Tim Hawkins is my favorite comedian. I found him doing and I found a video of him doing stand-up at combo, and oh my gosh, it was so funny. And that was the first time I'd ever heard of Liberty. I'm just like, huh, this is a Christian university. I mean, I've heard of Christian colleges before, and I'm just thinking, wow, it's wow, Christian college. That's really cool. But something just felt so different about Liberty. I'm just like, this seems like a pretty neat school. I just don't know if I can get in. The grades I was making in high school were just, ugh. I would never have gotten into a university with those grades. And I feel like going to a community college, it brought my grade point average up, definitely. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know it brought it up because of the grades I was making in college. I made some A's and B's, and I think I made one C because I had to take this psychology class, and I'm pretty sure that's where I made the C. That was such a tough class. Oh my gosh. I have a friend who majored in psychology, and I don't know how she did it. Ugh, that was so much work. Just for one class. That was so much work. Anyway, so yeah, I pray which college. Liberty University is the first one that popped into my brain. And then I Google Christian colleges, and it seemed like God took over Google that time because Liberty University was the first school to pop up. But either that is because it's the #1 Christian school ever. So this isn't a sponsored video, so I'm not saying that as a sponsor. I'm saying that because that's what I've read about Liberty. So then I talked to my mom about it, and we decided to plan a day to visit the school. And she sacrificed her birthday to come with me to see it, which was the sweetest thing. Because we went the weekend of her birthday, and it was the sweetest thing that she was willing to do that. But we did have a special birthday dinner at Olive Garden, though. I love Olive Garden so much, oh my gosh. And the fact that there's an Olive Garden right next to the campus. Just know when I pass by it, I'm just gonna be like, if only this place took flame cards. So anyway, before we even went to Liberty, Mom got the idea of just going ahead and applying. And I'm like, shouldn't we visit it first? I don't know. And she and even some people at church encouraged me to apply and just see what happens. And so I applied. And then about a week later, I get home from work and there's a package sitting on my desk. And it's got the LU logo that's on my shirt right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's from Liberty. Am I in? So my mom documents it so I can post it later because she feels in her spirit that I'm in. And so what's in the box is a poster, the shirt that I'm wearing right now, the letter that says that I'm in. And I was so excited and nervous and honestly, I didn't know how to feel. And Mom is recording me on my phone, and I see tears in her eyes, and it was just very cool. Oh, this is it. Dear Heather, congratulations. You've been officially accepted to Liberty University for fall 2026. I'm in! Sweet! So then we visited the college campus. They have this thing called College for a Weekend. They call it CFAW, you know. College for a Weekend. CFAW, they call it CFAW. It was our very first time in Lynchburg. It was our very first time in Virginia, period. And yeah, Virginia's beautiful. Y'all, everybody on campus was so nice. You could sit in on the classes to see how the classes are, and there were people helping me find them. They were just so sweet and so helpful, and it was just amazing. You know, you could truly just feel God's presence all over the campus. And the place I felt it the most was in the chapel. They have a chapel on campus. It is so beautiful. I went in there and seeing some people my age just on their knees, fully surrendered to God. I was just sitting in there just overwhelmed by what I was seeing and what I was feeling. I was literally getting tears in my eyes. And the more time I spent on campus, the more I felt the more I'm just like, I feel at home here. Because I even told my mom before the trip, this campus feels different. And when we go to CFAW, I want to figure out why. And I figured out why. You know, there's some college campuses that they say they're Christian, but they don't seem to act Christian. This one, totally Christian. Okay, what I don't mean by that is I don't mean that there's preaching everywhere and people saying you're gonna go to hell if you don't follow Jesus everywhere you go, and you know, I don't mean that. I mean, everyone was so kind. They would ask questions. Whenever my mom and I would do things separately. There was one time when 2 students waited for me before they went back to their dorm, waited with me for her before they went back to their dorm rooms. And it was just so beautiful how kind everybody was. And I felt comfortable telling people there that I was autistic without them judging me, which that I absolutely loved. And I found out that they actually have an autism advocates club. An autism advocates club at a Christian school. Oh my gosh. I was so excited to hear about that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is totally the school for me. I'm gonna fit in great. Liberty also has a really great disability program, or as I like to call it, a different ability program. And that's where I got this sticker. Unity and neurodiversity. I love it. And you can probably guess where I got this sticker. That was actually one of the things they mailed to me with the shirt and the letter telling me that I'm in. Pretty cool. So yeah, being able to go there was just amazing. I'm so glad I was able to go to CFAW, and I can't wait to go there as a student. There's a little bit of work to do to prepare for it. And the college is expensive. I mean, it's a university. Every university is very expensive, no matter if they're Christian or not. But there's a lot of scholarship opportunities, and most importantly, I'm trusting that if God really wants me to go to this school, He'll provide a way for me to go. He'll provide a way for me to move to Lynchburg. He'll provide the time for me to move into my apartment. He'll provide the roommate. He'll provide everything. I'm trusting that. So what I'm planning on studying at Liberty is theater. Now, I learned that there are 2 ways that you can study theater. There's Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Bachelor of Arts is basically taking pretty much all the theater classes, all the required ones, and there's not really a lot of room for electives, but that became a problem for me because I really want to take some electives because I want to learn more than just theater while I'm there. And then I learned about Bachelor of Science. Bachelor of Science is different. Where you take like certain ones that are required, that will get you the degree, but you can also pick electives. Not only can you pick electives, but with this particular one, I can actually pick 3 minors. And I had 2 minors in mind already while I was there. And then I looked online at some minors and found my 3rd one, and I'm like, okay, I already know what I'm studying. Awesome, I'm on a roll. So I actually applied for Bachelor of Arts before I knew about Bachelor of Science, but then I learned about Bachelor of Science while I was at CFA, and I'm like, and I plan on switching it over to Bachelor of Science before I start taking classes, before I even apply for classes. So I plan on doing Theater Bachelor of Science and minoring in Cinematic Arts, Creative Writing, and this one actually has nothing to do with the arts, but I thought it was awesome that you can minor in it, and I really want to because of how much I want to do a disability ministry. You can minor in disability ministry. This is perfect. They even have a minor where you can learn about autism. And I thought about that one, but I decided not to because it just felt weird taking classes about what I already know from experience. So I'm learning something new about myself every day without a minor in it, so I think I'm good. Anyway, but doing a disability ministry, I can learn about all of them, and I can learn about how to help them and, different things like that. I've even talked to my pastor about about starting a disability ministry at our church, and he thinks it's a great idea. He loves the idea. The problem is neither one of us know where to start. And I'm really hoping the disability ministry might help with that. So yeah, I'm really excited about Liberty University. I'm definitely nervous because this is going to be a brand new step in my life. I cannot wait. I trust God is going to guide my every step. This is going to be so different. I'm even moving away from North Carolina to do this. This is literally the cliche of leaving everything I've known and going into where I don't know. It's literally become this. And yeah, I've never been more excited and nervous for something at the same time. This is going to be crazy, and I know it won't be easy. I know there will be days where I feel like giving up. But at the end of the day, we serve a God that's got a great plan for us. Jeremiah 29:11 says that He knows the plans that He has for us, and they're plans to prosper us and not to harm us, and plans to give us hope and a future. And I want to encourage you with that. If you've been looking for a school to go to, if it's not Liberty, it's totally fine. This is not a sponsored video. This isn't to encourage you to go to Liberty. This is to encourage you to trust God with whatever He has planned for you. God may be calling you to go to a different school. That's okay. If you're graduating high school pretty soon and you're looking for a college, I would recommend Liberty, but if God's calling you to a different school, that's totally fine. This is just to tell you where I'm going and to encourage you to trust God with whatever He has planned for you. And you may not know what it is yet. I don't know what mine is yet. I'm 26 years old, and I still have no idea what God wants me to do with my life. And you know what? That's okay. I've been learning that is perfectly okay. I'm at a good place right now. At the moment, I'm living with my mom. We don't have a basement in the house, so this is basically the biggest room in the house. So this has sort of become a bit of an apartment, if you will. I'd say it's about the size of a studio apartment. So, mean, I love living in this small town in North Carolina. I can't imagine leaving, but you know what? If God's calling you to go, it's best to go. I mean, you could choose not to go, but it's not going to go very well for you. I mean, if I don't go, I feel like I'm going to be stuck in the same exact rut, trying to figure out what to do with my life, working at the same place, day after day after day. Most of the time I'm in the back making popcorn that they sell, which I definitely don't mind doing, but I don't want to do it for the rest of my life. And even though this job is good right now, and I work with amazing people, and I honestly think that Ingalls is a great place for special needs to work, I feel like I should be doing something more with my life. Okay, I'm not trying to sound all new age here, follow your dreams. I'm not trying to do that. What I am trying to say is that this is cool right now, but I feel like in my future, God wants me to do something different. And I think He's bringing me to Liberty to show me what that different thing is. And Liberty, not only do I believe God really wants me to go there, but it has such great programs that really fit what I want to study. And I think it's a very good school for me for that very reason. And plus we saw a play while we were there. Oh my gosh, the play was so amazing. They did Tale of Two Cities musical. I didn't even know they made a musical of that. It was so great. They did amazing. And I met one of the theater teachers there. I really hope I have him because he was making me laugh. It was so funny. I wish I could remember his name or I'd give him a shout out, but I can't remember. But anyway, CFA was a great experience, and I believe I'm going to have a great experience being a student at Liberty, and I really can't wait until that season starts for me. Even though it's going to be very difficult, I've got peace about it. I've got excitement about it even. Like, I've never been excited to go to school before. You should have seen me when I was a teenager in high school. So that's why I'm going to Liberty. This is all really a God thing, and I can't wait to get started. I think I'm really gonna like it there. I think I'm gonna meet a lot of great people and be involved in a lot of cool things. That's basically what's going to happen in August, and I just want to thank you guys for watching this. Be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with my videos. I may not post very often at Liberty. It may be the amount of times I post at the moment. I'm going to see if I can post a little more frequently than I do now. I can at the moment, but I don't know what's going to happen at Liberty. I don't know if I'll have time, but I'm going to do my very best, so I'll see what happens. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss a video. If you like this video, hit the like button. That is what it's for. And leave me a comment if you'd like. I like reading your comments. And tell me if you've been to Liberty, what's your experience? If you've ever been to CFA, what was your experience? Tell me if you're going to be a student at Liberty soon, too. Maybe we'll see each other there next semester. Who knows? Anyway, I will see you guys next time. And remember, you were born on purpose, for a purpose, and you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Bye.